Hey everyone, welcome to Chick Chat Chicago, and we're representing our favorite Chicago teams today. You notice we don't agree on a lot of stuff, and one of those things is our favorite baseball team. And this leads to what our main topic is for today's show. Deal breakers. We're going to give people a few minutes to get on here.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and share this out.
Ones. Yeah, we're going to share this out. If you got some friends you think should be listening, don't forget to share it out to your pages too and get some more people in on the conversation. Tag them. Let them follow us too.
This is going to be good, guys.
This is going to be a good one. We want to hear what your major deal breakers are. And we're going to talk about ours. And yeah, I mean, we all have, there's some deal breakers that are basically like universal, right? Mm-hmm. That, you know, they don't have a good job. They live at home with their parents and they're like 35. Things like that. We're not going to get too much into those because there's more important deal breakers or more fun deal breakers to talk about. Let's be honest. It's more fun. The ones when it's just you're talking about your typical ones like low paying job, you know, that has no ambition. Those are some standard like deal breakers. We're going to talk about the more ones that are unique to each individual. And we're almost done sharing this out, I swear. The conversation is a lot more fun when we get everybody involved. So that's why we give it a minute here before we dig into those conversations, just to give everybody a chance to jump on. And I can't wait. I can't wait on this topic. This is one we've been looking forward to for like a couple weeks now.
Oh my God.
Not just because we wanted to wear our jerseys and represent our teams. We're not catching fire here sitting next to each other, thank goodness, you know. Okay.
Move! Get out the way!
And then there's moments like that where we're exactly like. All right.
We're fun.
So yeah, guys. So getting to the first of the deal breakers, right? That the obvious one for both of us, I think, right? I think this is obvious for both of us.
This is totally an obvious.
I can't date a Cubs fan. I've tried it. It doesn't work, guys.
I dated a Cardinals fan.
Maybe, you know, he just ruined it for all the other Cubs fans out there. But honestly, all right, so my rule has always been don't date Cubs fans. I'll be friends with them, obviously. I'll tolerate them.
We're pretty great. We're pretty great people, actually.
You know.
We're pretty chill.
Yeah. And I don't think you actually like could name any like more than like two of the hottest players on the team. So
you're a jerk. Don't think just because I'm looking down at my phone does not mean I'm not listening. Thank you very much. Go Cubs. That's right, Scott. I see you.
No, seriously, like that's one of my things. It's just the personality thing too. That's the issue I have with a lot of the Cubs is the personality of a lot of the fans, right? I'm sure Cubs fans will say the same thing about a lot of Sox fans. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, it's one of those things. But my main problem with my ex that was a Cubs fan was that he lied about it. Yes.
Why?
So he knew.
Why'd you lie about just a sport? That's weird. Yeah, if you can lie about that, you could probably lie about like other things. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That was my
strange
point.
To me.
Something so simple.
Baseball.
All right. Granted, he had heard me talk on a previous radio show about my deal breakers, and that being one of them. I won't date Cubs fans, and so. He had heard that, so he purposely said, "Oh yeah, I don't really follow baseball. You know, it's not my sport. You know, I just, you know,
it's not everybody.
He's like, I'm a Chicago, and this is almost worse than when people say Chicago fan. To me, that's almost worse than being a Cubs fan. Honestly, it is saying I'm a Chicago fan. That's the Wimp's way of saying I'm not picking a side, or they're from out of town. They're not really from Chicago." And so, therefore, their opinion doesn't count to begin with. I'm
not going to say
they probably eat ketchup and hot dogs.
People are going to come for you.
Yeah. That's okay.
Because there's a lot of people that like just all the Chicago teams. So I'm just in here like.
Yeah, those Chicago fans are probably ketchup eaters. I'm just saying. Okay.
Here it comes. The floodgates are going to open here in a minute. Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do, okay,
All right,
you go
but,
first.
okay, anyways.
You go first.
Yeah,
With
obviously
your pet peeves.
my-
Girl, bring out your list.
my
Let's
pet
hear it.
peeves. I don't know if I have like pet peeves per se.
I brought
Like, as we go
my
along,
list
I'm
with
sure.
me, so
Yeah,
go
I'm
for
sure
it.
your list is longer than mine. I know her list is longer than mine. But yeah, my big thing was him, but it was the lying, right?
Oh.
That's like, if you're gonna lie about something simple like that, how can I trust you not to trust you to be honest with me about other stuff? And I caught him out because his mom said, "Hey, when are we going to the annual Cubs game this year that we all do as a family?" And I was like,
Wow.
yeah,
Just right there. That's how you found out?
yeah,
Really?
that's how I found out. And he was like, you could tell by his face that he realized that he was caught in a lie and was trying to figure out how to talk his way out of it. So lying, so that one led to my other thing. And that caused that level of like constant questioning of like,
what else?
Yeah, what else are you lying about
Wow.
to try and impress me or get me to like you, or, you know,
That's terrible.
So be sincere, be honest. I'm like, if I liked him enough that I would have probably overlooked the fact that he was a Cubs fan. I really, you know, probably, we'll never know now, will we? So I guess, you know, there's some hope for Cubs fans, but I wouldn't put too much stock on it.
Yeah. I love you guys.
So that's one of mine. My pet peeves is lying about the simple things, like that you can get caught up on. Especially, just be straightforward and honest. Be yourself, people, and like, I won't fault you for
being who you are
and being true to yourself. To me, I'd much rather you be true to yourself and appreciate you and recognize that than to sit there constantly questioning
who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Are you the person that I'm actually falling for? Or are you somebody that you're trying to be to make me fall for you? So that's one of my pet peeves. Another thing, a deal breaker for me. It's not a pet peeve, it's a deal breaker.
Here we go.
And this is this tidy whities, guys. I'm sorry. It's like a bucket of cold water being dumped on my head if I see a guy in tidy whities. God. It does not matter how attractive I find you, how hot you are, how connected we've become.
That's a good one.
If
gross.
You have tidy whities on, I'm going to be like, you know what?
You're probably
I think I have an early call tomorrow. I need to go. So, or you need to leave, whichever. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely no tidy whities, guys. Those are for little boys. So that's my another major one. Now I'm trying to think of what another one is. I've got others. I have good ones. But why don't you tell us a few of yours while I try to remember a few of mine? Sure? I should have written this stuff down, guys. Yeah.
Okay.
And we want to hear your deal breakers, guys. Everybody, you guys, I want to see them pop up in the comments, guys.
This is going to be good.
Share these deal breakers with us.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay, wait. I have to get in my notes.
She's much more organized than I am. This is why I keep her out of here. Hold on.
Okay, wait. Okay, so
we got some stuff.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Before we dive into this, if you're gonna judge me me kindly, guys, because
hold on. Before you do this, I just have my sister.
Okay.
My sister. She popped up on here. She's wearing, again, she did this when we went to the zoo a couple weeks ago, wearing her Cubs t-shirt with her White Sox hoodie.
I love her.
Why, Rachel? Why you got to be that way?
I love Rachel.
Yes, somebody agreeing with me about the Chicago fan thing. You're welcome. Sox all day. Love it. Lying sucks, definitely. I dated the Cubs fan, Caitlin, without knowing he was a Cubs fan at the time. And now I definitely, after that, but they'd have to make a big impression on me for me to change that rule. So anyway,
Caitlin has a cute profile picture.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
That's cute, girl.
Yeah.
You look cute.
Caitlin is beautiful.
She's pretty.
All right.
Okay.
So I love you, Caitlin. Okay.
All right.
Brittany's list. Back to Brittany.
All right, here we go.
It's Brittany.
So I was gonna say, if your teeth are messed up, I can't unsee that. I mean, unfortunately, I know that sounds bad, but it's one of those things that I look at first.
Especially,
I don't know.
You're a dental hygienist too, so
yeah, I'm a dental assistant.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'm a dental temp, so I temp sometimes. So, here we go. The next one. Okay, if you drive a 2-seater electric car, like one of those circus
smart
cars.
And I'm looking, I want to get a Fiat. That's one of the cars.
Okay.
But my daughter told me that's too small for road tripping, and she's right. So
so
practical.
It gives me anxiety because I was in a couple car accidents, and one actually,
me.
I was on a date. I was on a date, and this is scary. One of the electric cars broke down in the cornfield. Like, right out of electric.
I hope this was not a first date.
Oh my God, it wasn't the first date, but it was one of my dates. And it was terrifying because we were in the cornfields and it was at night. And we had to get hitchhiked. Someone had to pick us up.
Did you get a chance to tip a cow at least?
Oh my God, yeah, it was so funny. Yes, that's too funny. Can you imagine? I was picturing Signs. Have you guys seen the movie Signs?
Yes.
Because it was dark.
Your baseball bat.
Yeah, in the cornfield. Scary. Because I was
looking
like,
out
oh
for
my
Mel
God.
Gibson, right? Okay.
Mel Gibson, stop it. Oh my God. Okay, so too funny. The next one, if your pupils are dilated on the date. I don't know if you're high or if you went to your eye doctor beforehand, because it's hard to have a conversation with someone when they're, you're looking at them in your eyes. And if their pupils are so big and you can see into their soul, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
I've never noticed that on a date before. So obviously I haven't gone out with anybody that was stoned on my dates.
Oh my God, the worst. I can tell. I have some good ones, guys.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
Here we go.
All right, next one.
Okay.
Thank you next.
Okay. If I find out, hold on. You have plastered up holes in your walls from punching. Your walls from past anger problems.
Any kind of thing that shows that you've had past anger issues like that, like uncontrollable anger.
Yes,
that is a major red flag. That's not just a deal breaker. That is red flag central.
Seriously. Okay. I've actually got to know this guy, and I felt very comfortable with him, and we went over to his house, and he showed me his room, and then I noticed because he wanted to show me like karate belts that he had and awards and stuff, because he was trying to impress me. Yeah, but I also noticed that he had like holes inside of his walls, and I could tell because they were plastered up all throughout his. I'm like, dude, and he's like, oh, those are old, and I'm like, it's time for me to go. Like, it's time for me to leave.
Like, why not paint over them? What the hell? They're plastered over, not even painted.
I don't want to date a Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, yeah. No, thank you.
Thank you next.
Okay. We have Caitlin chiming in really quick. I know you got one on your list. She says deal breakers are poor hygiene. Yes. Lack of ambition. That was one we mentioned in the beginning. Those are need transportation. Don't care how cheap or old it is, right? Yeah. So you got to have a car or something, right? Yeah. So
you can't have a bike. Here you are on your bike,
picking me up on your 10-speed. No, anyway, I appreciate if you live in the city though, and you're trying to be more environmentally conscious. I'm sorry, that's not a deal breaker for me. That if you don't have, but I don't live in the city, and so the chances of us seeing each other are getting slim to none. So then that's the issue. That's the real issue, not the issue that you ride a bike. It's the issue of how am I going to see you? But anyways, I guess there's buses and trains, right? So we also have let's see, Caitlin again saying not looking to be your mom, right? So get your stuff together before you want to date anyone. Yeah, right. That's what we've discussed that numerous times on here. Get your stuff together before you start dating, right? Don't bring all that baggage that you could be fixing beforehand. If you got too much baggage, you can't expect somebody else to just jump right in and help you want to carry that. You gotta figure out how to get rid of some of it, fix it before you bring in somebody else, right? So too much baggage, deal breaker. I also won't date anyone that is or was an addict of any kind, right? You can be addicted to me, but give me my space. Apparently, you don't from yesterday. Use your best judgment. Let's see. Or religious, yes. People that are too religious or religious.
Girl. It's so culty sometimes.
Yeah, like if you're treating it like a cult, no. Thank you. That's a really big one.
Thank you next.
Yeah, thank you. That's a big one for me too. Let's see. Cheney is chiming in. Aren't you required to have anger issues to be a Sox fan? Very funny, Cheney. Very funny. I have no anger issues. What are you talking about? Okay.
Too funny.
If I had anger issues, we would not be friends. Okay. Jamie, I'm referring to. I've known him for like a long time. All right. So what is the next on your list, Brittany? Getting back to that.
Okay. If you're talking about your ex too much on your date, like without me asking about it, and you're going on and on and on about it.
I think this is something I'm trying to relearn. Like, all right, so I've always been, you cardinal rule, you don't talk about your exes on the first date, especially unless somebody specifically asks a question. But it's like knowing how much information to give out and how much not to. And it's like, because I don't like talking bad about people to begin with, but then they want to know why it didn't work out. And, so it's like, what's going to be drama, what's not. And because it really wasn't,
It's way too much. It gets to be too much.
Yeah, so that's a tough one. One. But don't talk about your ex too much. That's definite a red flag there. Because are you still into them? Or are you still obsessed with it? Is it still bothering you that much?
Sometimes I ask certain people. I went on this date with this guy in the military. And I asked him, what had happened between you and your ex-girlfriend? And he's like, because I had to go to a different base. I had to break up with her because I didn't want to do that to her. And I'm thinking, what if he goes to a different base?
Is he going to break up with you? Because
exactly. Yeah. So you see what I'm saying?
Yep. Then it's like warning signs for other things to come.
Sometimes it's good to ask different people, different scenarios. You know what I mean?
Definitely. That's a really good one.
That was like a no. Something else, like sorry.
I'm trying to think. I have some other ones too, like too far away. That's another one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Because I've had to tell some people like, I'm so sorry. Like, it's bogus, but yeah. So I can't believe I used that word bogus. Who uses that anymore?
Hello, the new Bill and Ted movie is coming out, so you got to get used to it.
I love us, Jinx. We're such weirdos. Okay.
Just wear it proudly, my weirdness. Okay.
Wave your weird flag everywhere.
Get in my Cookie Monster again.
That was a really cute video. I actually watched it again this morning.
Took that video.
I know. Oh my gosh. So funny.
I was watching.
You gotta be there. It was great.
All right. You guys only saw a minute and a half of it. If you've watched that video, if you haven't, I suggest it. But
Please go see it.
That was the video that we did after the restaurant died down. And emptied out a bit so that we could get a good video of it.
Aww.
I was basically doing that for like an hour prior to that, walking around the bookstore with the book, reading it around the bookstore while we were waiting for our table.
I love that
table. That's why she decided to do the video. I said, I need a plate of cookies first.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes. So if you haven't watched my Cookie Monster video.
It's entertaining.
Yeah. Okay. So next on your list.
All right.
And then I'll get to some that people have commented, posted, and messaged us with over the past day since I put up the thing. I got a whole lot of them here, guys. But I'll let Brittany finish her list. You guys, if you have yours, of course, go ahead and put them in the comments. Yes. We want to hear. Do you guys have any ridiculously specific deal breakers that make sense to you, but might not make sense to anybody else?
Right.
I want to know what yours are. So mine, the tidy whities. The not wanting to date Cubs fans, right? I want to hear what you guys have to say. What are your deal breakers? I've got another really good one, and I'm blanking on it, and I can't think of what it is. When I remember, you guys will know. I'll be like, you'll see the light bulb above my head. It'll just be, okay. Anyway, my hands glow when I do that. Jesus. Okay.
So, astronaut Jesus.
MJ Jesus. You watch, I'm just saying that made sense. Okay. And if you don't, that's another podcast you should listen to. All right. So next on your list, Brittany.
Okay. So if you abuse any animals or have too many animals, it's a turnoff.
So either
all
way,
animals,
loving animals too much or not having them at all,
and,
or not
all animals need special care. And if you live alone and you have a zoo, you're a no.
Yeah.
Because they all deserve special care. And if you literally have so many animals that you cannot take care of these animals, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's just abusive. And I can't, if you can abuse an animal, who knows how you're going to verbally, physically abuse me? Who knows? I don't know. But animals are awesome. Dogs, cats, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. So that's definitely an important one. We have Russell chiming in with hair on toes as a deal breaker for him. Yeah.
Scrunch nose.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Too much hair in general can be a turn off for girls too. Like in general, toes or otherwise, too much hair.
Yeah, agreed. It's like you're dating an ape.
Yeah. Like if you look like you're still wearing a sweater after you take your shirt off.
Ew. Because they get sweaty and then the hair sticks to you and it's like
yeah, so overly hairy.
It's
Manscaped, guys, Manscaped. Okay. Anyways, what else you got for us? If you're just tuning in, we're talking about deal breakers. And
are you guys loving my
unusual
list?
deal breakers. We want to hear what your unusual ones are, right? There's
Give
the standards.
me a thumbs up.
We know the standards of no ambition and doesn't have a good job, lives with parents kind of thing, plays video games more than paying attention to you. Video games are okay. I'm not saying those are wrong, right? It's okay to play video games, but if you'd rather be playing your video games than, me, then...
That actually I have on my list. So.
Is that on your list?
Ooh, okay. It's like a certain person. I kind of like painted this person out, like Bob Ross. Okay. This type of guy.
Happy little trees. Okay.
Happy little trees. Yes. Okay. So the next one on my list.
Playful clouds.
Playful clouds. Okay.
Rippling brook. Okay, sorry. I'm just making stuff up
okay.
now.
If you can't manage your schedule as an adult.
This is why we would never date if we were lesbians.
And you keep pushing our date back. You're not prioritizing me and I get irritated. So I will move you out a month. Yep. A month on my schedule.
Still give them the date, but put it a month out?
I will put it a month out. And I'm like, I like to...
I 100% believe that.
I do, actually, because I'm very selective with who I date.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
I like to prioritize, if you're not prioritizing my time and not respecting me, then, what makes you think I'm going to respect you? Okay. All right. It's give and take.
Then there you go. Yeah. I could see that. I'd like to be a priority. I'd like to be. I'm just still,
There's been times where this one has a date and she's like, oh, I have a date this day. And I'm like, Jinx, we plan on hanging out that day.
And I'm like, oh, let me get that rescheduled. I've done that. But it's always with a couple days notice.
The thing is there's a calendar on your phone and you can easily.
It takes time to put stuff in a calendar.
Nah, it takes a second.
I need one that I can write down in because I feel like that's so much better.
Okay, Grandma. You have a phone for a reason.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
So if you're a Sox and Cardinals fan, toodles.
Is anybody really a Sox and a Cardinals fan? Like, does that person exist?
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
But either or, Okay. If you try spoon feeding me a taste of your food like a child, no. I feel uncomfortable. And please don't ever ask me to call you daddy. Ew. Ew. That's a hell to the no. Okay. And then next. Okay, if you're the type of guy that wears slides with socks.
Oh my gosh. Guys, don't. Just stop with it. Stop. If it's cold enough that you feel the need to put socks on with your slides, you shouldn't be wearing slides. Put some damn shoes on.
Right?
Nobody wants to see your grandpa's socks with your sandals.
Come on, guys. What the heck?
Might as well be putting on those mom jeans too, guys.
Oh,
No, don't.
I guess if you're going to get like groceries out of the car, that's one thing. But if you're going out in public and you're doing activities, I mean, come on. Socks with slides? Gross. You're probably a Croc wearer too. Oh my God. Ew, I hate Crocs. They look like cheese. Anybody else feel that way? I do.
Wear cheese on your feet. Come on.
Fucking weird. I mean, they're comfortable, but I've seen some dental assistants actually not wear the holes.
And this episode now is marked explicit with the language. Thank you, Brett.
Oh, you're welcome.
Anyways, while you're looking up the next one, we have some comments here. So CJ wants to know, are we doing a turn-on video as well? Or is that after the negatives on this one? We did not even discuss that. Like, what are turn-ons? That might be a good episode for some point. Be like an after dark episode. Okay. Anyways.
After dark?
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. let's see,
I don't know
maybe
if I
one of our
wanna talk
bonus
about that
episodes.
kind of stuff,
yeah.
I don't know how
We'll see, guys.
comfortable, I'll feel, but I don't know.
All right.
Maybe Jinx might be down like James Brown.
I used to be a manager for Lovers Lane. People.
She's too comfortable with it.
All right. Let's see. Great organization skills. If he stays for those 30-day probation trial, he might be worth it and really into you.
Oh my God. What are you saying about me?
It's 100. She's high maintenance. Yeah. Anyways.
Well, you know what? I feel like if you're
worth
not
it to be friends with, I don't know.
Baby, I'm worth it.
Okay.
Uh-huh,
So we have
I'm
Chris
worth it.
saying deal breaker, asking me for a ride to our date because he doesn't have a car. Yes.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nope. Nope. Like we were talking before, it's okay to have a bike if you're environmentally friendly and stuff, but you better find a way to get to the first date because that shouldn't be on me. Like after we're dating and or whatever, if I like you and stuff, I have no problem. And once I trust you, but we discussed this with Jason and Tenny from Actual Factoids about like girls picking up a guy because Jason was talking about what if they messaged you on your way over to pick up 3 Happy Meals, right? Would you do it? Or what would you do? And I'm like, first of all, why am I picking him up in the first place? Second of all, that's an automatic giant red flag.
Because McDonald's.
That too. I don't buy McDonald's. I don't eat McDonald's.
Like,
I'm very no McDonald's ever. Not in my car. Okay. Anyway. So right there. There's so many things wrong with this one. But no, safety issue. Being a woman, some guy wants you to pick him up at his house, and now he's giving an excuse and reason that you have to come to his door. The place you've never been, somebody you've never met in person in this scenario. There's too many things there of why I would be like, no. Okay, so anyways, yes, but no, find a way, the first date, especially if it's somebody you're meeting online on a dating app, no, they need to find their way to that first date. They get an Uber, right? I don't know. There are other means now, guys. Okay. If you can't afford to get an Uber to go meet you for the first date, I think right there is a deal breaker, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. He shouldn't be dating. If he can't find a way to meet you for the first date, then he shouldn't be dating in the first place.
Weird.
Let's see. What if it's the airplane though? I don't know what that's in reference to. We missed that. Sorry, CJ. I'm not sure. Crocs suck. Let's see. No, you can't. No. If you're asking about can you wear the slides and socks for an airplane? No. Nope.
That's weird.
Slip-on gym shoes or something, guys. But no slides.
So weird.
All right.
Don't do that.
Let's see.
Style. I think style is the most attractive thing about a guy.
Always dress as if you're gonna meet that person that you might want and
be with the rest of your life.
If you're single and looking to date, you need to make sure that you're not wearing something that might be a potential turnoff if you happen to come across that person while you're out and about.
Have respect for yourself.
Yeah.
Value who you are.
Once you're married for 20 years, nobody cares. Anyways, all right.
Looking like a potato at home.
That's why you have all these 60-year-old men wearing, socks and sandals. Okay?
Hey, you're comfortable with each other. That's fine. I think when you're dating,
when you're grandpa age, you've earned the right to wear socks with sandals while you mow your lawn. Okay, dangerous. Live a life on the edge, man. You wearing sandals while you're mowing lawn. Okay. So we have Dee commenting, cannot be okay, too many meds. Okay. I will not date someone on a bunch of psych meds. Ooh. Yeah, that's a roller coaster. I wouldn't want to get on either. That's another thing. Like if you're having to take too many medications to balance yourself out, because
if you miss a pill, you're like, ah!
Yeah, and you don't know which person you're getting that day. Okay. That's
rolling of the dice.
I mean, it sounds harsh and judgmental, but you really, if it's not something you're willing to put up with or to be sympathetic to, you shouldn't do it, right?
Russell
with the KFC comment.
Oh my God, Russell.
As anybody listener of the show knows by now, I don't eat chicken, and so KFC would definitely be a no on my list. Thank you. I would not want to smell that either on the whole drive. Okay, don't want my car smelling like KFC. Okay, overly competitive men are a real turnoff. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a thing. You don't have to win every argument.
No,
trust me.
It's kind of cute to let the girl win, right?
I don't know. You can play. Letting me win.
You can play fight.
on my own, but
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's always fun.
But overly competitive with other guys too, because that's just like, oh God, here we go with the testosterone, dick waving here, like, whose penis is bigger. Okay.
Why am I picturing an elephant with her trunk? Oh my God.
All right. So CJ's saying he meant like best cologne, hairstyles, those kind of turn-ons, right?
Oh.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could talk about that at some point. We'll
will
get a list together. And we could have a guy on for that talk about
talk about like what we're attracted to.
Yeah, what they find attractive in women, because I know there's a lot of women on here that would probably want to hear that too. Let's see. And I know we have plenty of guys that have been reaching out to us that want to be on the show.
Yeah, they do.
Give us their male perspective.
I was like overwhelmed. I was like,
yeah, we got a lot.
That's a lot.
So we're working on this, and I think it helps too, like getting personalities out there so you guys can see some of the other people, especially the dating groups that we share this out to.
Yeah,
so you guys can see some of the other members, some other place, and get to know them too.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I'll tell you if you pay me money.
What?
I don't know what that is referring to here. Let's see. Spoon feeding your food. Yeah, we said that, right? So yeah, we don't want guys that baby you. Like, no.
That's weird.
I'm sorry, guys. No, there are some women out there for you. It's not us.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what do you got? She's got a long list, guys. If this was on paper, it would go from the ceiling to the floor, I think, at this point. This is
why I'm a little single Pringle. That's okay, though. I'm happy.
She knows what she wants.
I am a girl who knows what she wants.
Yep. So those just jumping on. We're talking deal breakers. What are your crazy deal breakers? Whether you're dating now or dated in the past, what has always been something that like you're like, nope, that's something that I can't get past. Like, and I will get to mine. I still, for the life of me, I'm talking too much to remember what it is. I'll remember as soon as we go off air. What do you got for us, Brett?
So, if you're nagging me to go camping or any outdoor activity, like there's the type of guy that just likes to be outdoors. I like to go for a walk and like hiking, but I don't want to sleep outside. I'm not that type of girl.
That's not a deal breaker for me. I love camping. I
don't like bugs. I don't like spiders.
Other than an entomologist, does anybody really like bugs?
Well, I had like a bad dream, and like then I woke up with a spider crawling on me, and it's just I'm scared of spiders. So like if I'm outside
with the bees, man, she still loves camping, even though she's terrified of bees.
I'm sorry, guys.
Too much makeup. Yeah, that's a good one.
You guys are aiming it towards me. That's okay.
Payback's a bitch, isn't it?
It's okay. You know what? I wear a lot of makeup, and that's fine. Don't make me go swimming the first date. Okay, there we go.
Goes out too much.
Hey, at least I'm honest about it too.
So, all right, this is an interesting one. Goes out too much or drinks too much. All right, drinks too much. I've seen a lot of guys comment they don't want a woman that drinks too much. Women don't like guys that drink too much either. But it seems like I'm hearing that more from guys than I do from women. Although I think it's like something standard for women. Now, goes out too much. What exactly is that? I think it depends on the relationship. I know with me and my ex-husband, that was an issue because I love going out. I'm a social person. I like hanging out with my friends and going and doing stuff.
Yeah.
And he liked to, unless it was a sporting event, he liked to stay home, or like people that he was really comfortable and knew well. And even then he'd complain, he's just an introvert kind of person. And so that was always an issue for us. So because I'd want to go out. So, so I think it's the difference between going out on your own or going out with each other, right? And doing stuff together. So, but you still need your me time too, right? I'm sorry. There's a deal breaker for me is that I need my me time. And if you're constantly needing my attention, or you feel like because I'm not paying attention to you or I'm not with you 24/7 or constantly in contact with you, if you feel that means that I'm not interested or losing interest or makes you insecure, then it's not going to work out for us because I have a large social network. I like talking to people. I like going out and it's not always something that my significant other is going to be interested in. And I'm not going to make you come with me because you're just going to be bored or, it's
either you're a partier or you're not. And I've dated someone that's a little bit more like chill where they don't want to go out as much. And then I've also dated people that are a little bit more social. So, I mean, it's just, it depends on the person. How you and I view friends is like family, right?
Yeah.
So you want to be with your family.
My friends are my
yeah.
family. Yeah.
So like when you go out, you want to like all have a good time with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Without worrying about, upsetting somebody at home,
right.
Kind of thing. And
do an activity besides just like laying around the house. I mean, it can be great to kind of chill too.
Yeah, stay home and watch.
Keep a balance, right? There's nothing wrong with that.
Like the balance, because you get too used to staying home.
I'm glad we agree.
Yeah, you get too used to staying home, and then you don't get that
excitement.
Yeah, and that change of
it's just
experiences to talk about and stuff. Because it's like you sit on the couch watching a movie. What's there to talk about? Oh, remember that time I handed you the bowl of popcorn? You knocked it over because it's me and I'm clumsy and I probably, The
most exciting thing is probably like cooking together. I know like a lot of my friends, they, once they got married, they just all hung out with each other. And then, they just, all they do is like cook together, like that's their thing.
Cooking, staying in, and then
staying in the entire time
together. But
I've been noticing they're wanting to do more outings and things like that, which is good because I really want to see them too. I think some people, when they get in relationships, they get closed off. Yeah, right?
And like that's another thing too.
That's a whole.
This is a whole nother topic.
Oh dang, we might even have to like.
Yeah, when they get
save
into
that
those
for
first
later.
They start a relationship, and then all their energy and focus is on that one person.
Just them.
And you never hear from your friends until like a few months in when they start having problems and things aren't peachy keen.
Suddenly they come out the woodwork and they're like, want to be friends again.
Then they need somebody to complain to.
I actually dated a guy who was really controlling. And he wouldn't let me hang out with my friends too much. And that was weird. But okay, I'm just gonna bring that up real quick because
controlling guys, man.
Yeah. That's a whole thing.
Trying to tell us what to do.
Oh man. But
so we have my other friend Brittany. She says that if when she was dating, if they didn't like kids, they were out, right? So for women that want to have kids or whatever, that's a deal breaker, right? And being a single parent, you don't like kids, you're definitely not gonna like mine then. And guess what? She's gonna make you pay for that. It would never work for me and somebody that didn't like kids. So that's another deal breaker too. That I just feel goes without saying, being a single parent. And Rachel says, you look beautiful, Britt. Teach her. She wants you to teach her your ways. We are actually, speaking of that, Rachel, we are going to be doing some videos for our YouTube channel on makeup tutorials and stuff like that. So she can teach us how to do the perfect wing and all this other crap that she does.
All this
to
crap.
Make herself look so gorgeous. Okay.
All this crap on my face.
But it
Thanks,
makes
Rachel.
you look
I
great.
love you.
She looks beautiful. I put that much makeup on and I look like a cracked whore. I don't know.
What?
I'm not saying you do. You look gorgeous. You look phenomenal like that.
God, I love her. Yeah. I was just telling her how pretty her eyes are. I'm like, not to be lesbian or
I can't.
There's nothing wrong with but
I have fabulous eyes.
Her eyes are gorgeous.
Yeah, the camera is not doing them justice.
I don't know. I've never looked at Rachel's eyes.
Rachel's got green eyes. My sister's got green eyes. So, but anyway.
What color are yours? Yours is like bluish green.
No,
wait,
dark blue. I don't know.
Rachel's. I can't tell. She has like a filter on her.
Yeah, she's got filtered pictures. Rachel, did you not listen to last Wednesday's episode? Okay. Real filter. No, anyways.
Sparkle.
So Russell's clarifying that he means going out 4 days or more a week. Yeah, and that especially if it's without you. That's like if you're going out 4 times a week without your significant other, that is excessive. If it's doing stuff together and stuff, but that's the thing. The key is finding stuff to do together. And then you get experiences and stories to talk about with each other. Or if you go out, even if you're going out with your friends and stuff, you're getting experiences and stories to talk about when you come home, right? And that's one of those ways you keep that connection by doing stuff together, but also having something to talk about when you get home, as opposed to just the same old, like, work was boring. No. My work's never boring. I wish. Let's see. Caitlin says, being jealous, tell me what to wear or who I can hang out with is a big deal breaker.
Yeah. Like I said, I dated a controlling guy and
jealousy, control issues. Yeah, no. That's
what he would say to me? Definitely. He'd be like, you're wearing a lot of makeup or your shirt is too low. Are you trying to impress other guys? I thought you love me. Like, why would you do that? So that's the kind of stuff that they would say. And it's just like, ew.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, I'm like, are you that insecure about yourself?
Rachel says you know what she looks like. You've met her in person. But anyway.
I know that, but I'm saying, like, I never, like, really, like, looked
Look
into
at
your
her
eyes, right?
Yeah, today we're in the bathroom just getting ready and changing into my Sox jersey and stuff. And
I was, like, putting...
She's like, okay, I don't want to sound like lesbian, but I love your eyes today. No, anyways, just gorgeous. Thank you, Brett. Anyways.
I was just, like, looking, I was like, I don't look too hard into people's eyes, you know what I mean?
I'm just as bad. Bad.
I look over at them, but...
A guy's always I'll look at it. But yeah, no, we have Dee chiming in, not putting his foot down with her family because they don't like how much money you make. Right. I guess in general, not knowing when to step up to your family when they're coming down harsh on something about the person you're involved with. Like in general, not standing up for you. That is a deal breaker, right? You want somebody that wants to be on your side. And Russell's chiming in that he has so many, which is why he's probably single. You and Brittany can compare your list and see who's got the longer one. Never mind. That's a whole nother emoji pic waiting to happen. Okay. Anyways. All right, Britt, what else do you got for us? So she's got her list. I'm not kidding, guys. This list is long. We're trying to keep this under an hour, Brittany. So
okay. This is a certain type of guy.
Okay.
This is a certain type of guy. If you're a slob kebab that goes days without showering,
hygiene,
and you're a fatty, and all you said it, lay around and like play video games, that's all you do, and you're award-winning at snoring.
Ooh. Yeah, snoring is bad. I mean,
especially if you work early in the morning.
And that's one of those tough deal breakers because it's one that you don't really know until you really get involved with somebody, like how bad of a snorer they are.
Yeah.
It's like they could not snore the first time and then you don't know about it. Or maybe you're like, oh, maybe it was just they were drinking too much, because that does happen. If somebody drinks too much, they snore,
Some people, when they sleep on their back, they'll snore.
So, yeah. Hold on. Russell's chiming in, best friends with someone they used to date, not kids' other parent. So, okay. I'm like, I was going to say that, because me, I'm best friends, really close friends with my ex-husband and the father of my daughter. So I have no interest, we're just friends strictly. But yeah, if that's an issue for someone, that's a deal breaker for me, because he's important because he's my daughter's dad, and he's going to be in the
part
picture.
Of your life, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm friends to an extent with pretty much all of my exes, to an extent. Mm-hmm. There's one I won't speak to, or no, I take that back too. But one keeps trying to friend me on Facebook. Not going to happen.
No bueno.
If for some reason he's found this show, it's not going to happen. Stop sending me requests.
Please don't.
No. But yeah, so, I think we made the bottom of our list. I see an end.
Hey, I worked hard on that list.
Yes, and if you still haven't chimed in with your deal breakers, come on, guys, give them to us. We want to hear them.
Yeah.
So what's this one?
If you, hold on. If you wave a Confederate flag and you drive a pickup truck and you're always blasting country music.
That's a very specific
kind of guy.
Yeah.
You're a no. It's really that simple. Like, I don't date guys that.
Yeah. I think
we know what type of guy that is, and we're not. No.
There's
if you live in Illinois,
we're in agreement. Yeah. I'm not gonna. Yeah, the truck driving, Confederate flag waving. Yeah.
Country blasting.
Guys that try to drive a car to try and compensate for something else.
Ooh, I've seen those. They look like Tonka trucks. They're like
that.
They have the huge wheels of their car. They're driving. They have a small one.
Oh yeah. Oh, another deal breaker for me with dating apps and stuff like that. If they start talking sex talk before anything like along those lines, like even if it's like they're just trying to be flirtatious, but they're getting a little bit too that's automatic. Like, yep, we're done. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna meet me in person now. Yeah. If that's what you're about. So that's another.
That goes along with the emoji, like
eggplant,
the real thing. Getting it.
Oh my gosh, POF people, stay off POF. That's I think what it comes down to as far as like dating apps go, and you don't want to get those.
I have to delete my POF account because it's getting creepy on there for me.
Why are you on there in the first place? Okay,
Just trying to keep my options open. I found a couple cuties.
Right. I want to know, honestly, if there's anybody out there that's had a good date and relationship come out of POF. Even a good date.
I have. I've dated a guy for.
That was another. Oh my God. So that was another date where a guy I met on POF a couple of years ago, and he took me out to dinner at one of those hibachi places or whatever. And then we went to Bar Louie's for a drink afterwards. Okay. And this Bar Louie's is attached to a hotel. And he left to go to the bathroom, and he came back to the table and said, oh, by the way, if you're interested, I got us a hotel room if you want to go upstairs. Guys, stop it. Stop. No.
Habba, what?
Yeah, so this has happened to me more than once, guys.
Are you serious?
Yes. So I was just talking about this last night. I forgot about it. So
wait, this is the same guy?
POF. Different guy. This is 2 years ago. The other one I was talking about, that was from back in October, I think, something like that. But yeah, no, this was one a couple years ago.
Wow.
Where do I find?
Where do you find these guys?
That one was on POF. Okay. Yeah. Gross. So that's that. Yeah. So.
You find winners.
At least I got a good dinner out of it before they turn on the freakazoid. Okay, so we're going to talk about that on another episode too, though. Like how to navigate dating apps to try to avoid guys like that. Like what could you possibly be doing to attract them? Right. What changes did I make to what I had posted as my profile, as well as the guys I chose to talk to and how I talk to them? Because I haven't had these issues, thankfully, in the past 6-7 months now.
Teach me your ways.
So we're going to discuss this, what we do, and how do you keep your profile? I can't talk anymore. Keep your profile entertaining and catching someone's eye and giving just enough information without going overboard. So that's going to be another topic next week. This coming Saturday. We're still talking about this. We're planning on pre-recording it, but I feel like this is a topic people are going to want to chime in on. So I'm going to try and see if we can figure out a time and a place that we can still record on Saturday. It's going to have to be later in the evening. But if we can do it, because we're going to talk about ghosting, breadcrumbing, zombieing, all those crazy, stupid dating things. Oh, you know what? We did not get to all the ones that these deal breakers that people messaged us with. So I'm going to get to those next. Yes. We're just going to catch up with these messages. Do we have anything here? Hey, now with the trucks, let's see. I have met my last girlfriend off of POF. And are you still with her? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, anyway.
Rude.
I'm so bad. All right. So getting to the messages and stuff, one of the ones that we got was talking versus texting, right?
Yeah.
Like people that are just serial texters that just keep texting. At some point, you got to switch to talking on the phone. I was discussing this with somebody yesterday, I think it was, where I was saying that because he was talking about how sometimes he's with these dating apps messaging with someone and then they just stop responding. And it was Bumble that he was referring to. And that's one of the ones that I've used Bumble occasionally, but it never notifies me when I get new messages. So,
me too.
So I'm like,
I'm deleting it.
Like I'll go
You're
on it every once in a while. I
yeah.
haven't checked it in like 5 days, and I go on it, and I'm like, oh crap!
I
got several messages from people, and I haven't messaged any of them back because I didn't realize those messages were there. So it's not. So guys, if you're not getting messages back from girls on Bumble, it's not necessarily
we're not getting
that
notification.
They're ghosting you. So that's that. So if I'm really interested in somebody and they're coming across as somebody I really want to connect with and I don't want that to happen with, I will give them my number so that they can contact me outside of it. Then hopefully phone calls, because I prefer talking too. One of the people said he thinks that maybe it's a generational thing where you know,
prefer
like people are
texting
used to
over
texting, and I think it's just become
talking.
something that people become so accustomed to is just texting in the moment. And I know, especially when you first start talking with somebody, you're not always sure what else they're doing at that time, right? They might be, because it used to be before cell phones, we were at home, right? Or you called somebody's house. So if they were answering, you knew they were at home. They might be in the bathroom or they might be making dinner, but you knew they weren't out or at work or doing something, important or out on another date.
Do you remember AOL chat room? And you type them back.
Then you couldn't call them because they were on their computer.
So that's true. Do you remember that? Oh my God.
But yeah, so I think a lot of it is like the fear of picking up the phone because you don't know what they're doing, where they're at. And sometimes you think it's quicker to text. And in some instances it is, if it's just a quick one, question or whatever. Right. But if it's something you really need to have a conversation about, pick up the phone and talk. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, I know it's difficult the first time or two, but once you get used to talking to someone on the phone and get that, if you guys are comfortable with each other, then that's gonna show, and you're gonna have some great phone conversations as opposed to these ongoing text messages. Like sending somebody a text message, say, "Hey, I'm thinking of you," or "Hi," or just something funny that you found, or happened. That's fine, but if you really want to have a conversation, don't do it via text. Let's see.
I like Skyping.
Yeah, ghosting. We have people ghosting. We are going to talk about that Saturday. That is a topic we're going to discuss for Saturday.
Definitely.
And honestly, I think we need to do it live. You guys, I think you guys want to get on this conversation. And he's saying with the POF relationship was a great long relationship. Hates texting, AOL chat. Yes. Don't pick up the phone. I'm in AOL. Yeah, pick up the phone and loses connection for the person online. Oh, the days of dial-up.
I know.
Oh, man.
Good old days. I remember having a little phone book of all my friends because we would have to dial them up. It was so cute.
Oh my gosh. Back in the day. To some other deal breakers, somebody sent me a list here of their own. This is a guy. He won't date anybody over 6'2" or under 4'10". So any adult? I don't know. That isn't an Amazon. I don't know. Or a midget. Okay. Anyone who hates Star Wars. I know there's probably a lot of guys out there that's a deal breaker for them that hate Star Wars. I have no opinion when it comes to Star Wars.
Me neither.
Yeah,
it's just a movie to me.
Yeah. There's probably a lot of guys out there that just okay. Atheists. Yeah, that's religion we talked about before. If somebody doesn't, that's a big one for a lot of people. If they're not with your religious beliefs or whatever, or something goes way against it. Like me, I'm agnostic, so I'd like dating someone super religious isn't a good thing for me. My daughter, boy, don't get me started on her. Anyways, someone who's going to take more than 3 hours to get ready. I know it might be exaggerating, 60 minutes or so, but I'm so done with that. This is the guy that wrote that. So it takes.
I used to be really bad. I'm going to be completely honest because I keep it real. It took me an hour, probably an hour and a half to get ready. But now it takes me about 45 minutes to get ready.
If it's a really fancy date and I'm
it took me a while
doing
to get to
stuff
that
with
point.
My hair because I don't do this stuff very often, it will take me closer to an hour because
really?
I have to between the showering and curling the hair and all that stuff. It takes me a while because I don't know what I'm doing. She's well practiced. I'm figuring it out as I go.
Trust me, it's hard. I don't have to have.
It's hard being. She's beautiful to begin with, and then she just goes.
Thanks.
Even better. Okay. Let's see. Someone who's not going to make me turn against my own family members. Right? Yeah. You definitely don't want somebody that's. You want somebody that's going to be willing to stand up for their family members, but you also don't want to make them turn against their family members. That's not
awful.
Right either. In my family, oh my gosh, my mom and my grandmother were not ever fans of each other. But anyways, I won't get into that.
Everybody has that one family member though.
Excessive liars, right? I brought that up. If you're going to lie about the little stuff, how can I trust you with anything else?
Yeah, that's really bad.
Let's see. Anyone who's not cool with my current living arrangement. I guess whatever arrangement you're in. And like I said, if you're still living with your parents and you're in your parents' basement, and playing video games all day and don't have a job, that's an extreme, right? So that's an extreme example.
As long as you're honest about it, you know,
it depends on the why. The why.
A lot of people can't really financially
maybe,
afford to live by themselves. And they have to share homes with their friends,
like
or
I share an
family
apartment
members.
with my brother because I have a daughter, and and so having somebody else living with us is just safer for us. I feel safer having my brother there, and I love having the company of my brother there, and it helps with finances, right? It just makes it a lot easier. So I can see it's the reason why they're living there. That's what you got to look at. If it's because they don't have a job and they're not looking to get one, then that's a reason to run. If it's because they're saving up to buy a house or waiting for something, or to remodel
but they just can't do it by themselves, and they're like waiting for that person so that they can both financially afford to get a place.
It's like the bike thing. If it's because if they can ride a bike, I don't care if it's because they're trying to be environmentally self-aware or whatever, and help with that. I'm totally fine with bike riders. But don't find a way to the first date at least.
Take a bus.
I'll meet you halfway or something. But if they're living at home, find out the reasons. We can't jumping to quick conclusions and judgments, it's like, that's the issue. Okay. And finally, someone who is extremely camera shy. So someone who likes to take pics, would totally suck. I absolutely hate getting my picture taken. Believe it or not, guys, I do with a passion. I hate people taking my picture.
I would much rather take the picture of myself.
This is why I became a photographer in the first place. So I could be, I got my first camera when I was 5. So but I would much rather be taking the picture than having it taken of me.
Me too.
It's just,
a photographer thing.
Yeah.
You want to be behind it.
So, and I think it goes back to my whole thing. I don't like to be shown off either. Like, I hate,
like you feel like an award or something.
I don't like to be a trophy. I don't, it depends. If it's for an artistic picture and to be funny, like, I love funny pictures, like with their Snapchat filter pictures.
Yeah.
I had fun with those. Those
are fun.
Those are the kind of pictures
I'm not saying I don't like to look pretty.
Doing the Ariana Grande pictures. That was freaking hilarious.
That was fun.
And I took it myself, so I know it's a good picture. So.
I decided to do that challenge, and then I challenged Jinx to do it because it was an older challenge.
Yeah, so she has a version of that too. We can put our pictures up on Chick Chat.
Oh, that'd be fun.
But yeah, I mean, doing fun stuff like that where I've got control of the pictures, especially like selfies and stuff. I think I like those because I have control over that picture and the angle. When somebody else is behind the camera, especially being a photographer, I have trouble. It has to be somebody I really trust behind that camera. Before I let them take a picture of me without questioning. Let's see. So we have, it's not a deal breaker, but I've always been friends with whoever I've been interested in. So being friends first, or like having that connection.
That's a really good thing. Yeah, be friends with that person first.
All 3 of my long-term relationships were people that I knew and was friends with before I started dating.
That's really
as we discussed maybe I didn't discuss it on the chat, but I was talking with Tenny prior to our thing. The last guy I dated, he pursued me for, I think it was 2 months trying to get me to go out with him before I agreed to go on a date with him. We were friends. We'd been friends for a couple months, and then he kept asking me out, and I kept no. I'm like, because I knew he was looking for a relationship kind of thing, and at that time, I was not in the mindset to be. I knew I was like, I'm fine with dating.
You're just not ready.
I'm not ready to be in a relationship with anybody. I want to just be single for a while. And eventually, 2 months later, I was like, I really like this guy. Maybe it's worth a try, and it was worth it until he crushed me. But, that was, 10 months later. Or 11 months later. But that's another story for another show.
That's always awkward too, yeah.
But
when your friends are friends with friends.
Yeah, anyways. So friends first is always a good thing.
I promise we're not all bad, Jinx.
No.
We're pretty great, actually. I promise.
Randy says it takes him forever to do his hair. Is anybody that watched the episode, if there doesn't know Randy, you saw him on our last episode. He doesn't have very much hair to get ready. So anyways, Steve, if you practice Wiccan and own a legitimate cauldron, that's a deal breaker for me. You wouldn't think that would happen, right? All right. So Steve, on my other radio show a couple of years back, called in or messaged with his story about a woman he went on a blind date with or whatever. I met through a dating app. I think it was something like that. Went and picked her up and everything. she was Wiccan, thought she was into Wicker because misheard over the phone. Maybe that's a time when text messaging would have been better than a phone call. And you know for sure you just read Wicker instead of Wiccan. But then she like cursed him and sent birds after him or something. It was like crazy, something crazy like that, Steve. Am I remembering this wrong? It was like a ridiculous.
That's
Match.com he met her on. Let's see.
There's nothing wrong with being a witch. You can be a witch. That's cool. Do your thing. Everyone does their own things, has hobbies, whatever.
Yeah.
But to each their own. If you guys want to do that, practice that. I like to sometimes flip over a couple tarot cards myself. Mm-hmm. It's like a horoscope. It's like whatever. But
it's just for fun. My sister's trying to give me her wife again. I love Janine. If they ever split up, I'm keeping Janine. Sorry. I love you, sister, but I love Janine. Okay. Anyways. All right. To get to a few other fun deal breakers that I got through the groups and stuff. Ketchup eater. I hate ketchup, can't stand ketchup, but that doesn't necessarily mean I won't date somebody that eats ketchup. But this person says that Sox fan, so another person won't date a Sox fan. And someone who's not into Pokemon.
I'll just say about that.
Each his own. Okay. Open mouth chewers, right?
That's just talking about
peeve. Open mouth chewers.
Oh, I was talking about Russell. Do you remember our conversation about Pokemon characters? Pikachu's and Squirtles. I'm sorry to go back.
That conversation. The after hours conversation.
The after hours.
Chat. Oh
I was calling the girls down there Pikachu, and he was going.
Anyways,
it was funny. Okay, all right, you had to be there. Definitely watch that.
So that was fun. We kept talking this was what we were talking about after the show, wasn't it? I don't think it was still while we were on air, was it?
I don't know. Was
it even before we went on air? I can't remember. It was that night.
Yeah, it was that night. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was funny.
So open mouth chewers, right? That's just close your mouth when you're eating, guys.
You're a cow
too. Nobody. Yeah. I apologize for chewing gum during last night's episode. It drives me nuts watching the video back. I'm like,
I pop my gum every single time. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. A person that is too dependent on their ex. I could see that. That's because then if you're constantly calling them and needing them for stuff, that it can make a person that you're with feel a little like insecure, like, why, am I not good enough to help you out, or why, you're more dependent on them than me, kind of, not that you need to be dependent on the person you're with, but that balance is really thrown off there. Another person says Sox fan, bad driver, smoker, disrespectful.
Bad driver. Everyone has like a certain person in their head that looks like the bad driver.
Disrespectful or rude to servers. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is one for me. If I see you being disrespectful, rude, bad tipping, because there's situations that are out of the server's control.
Yeah,
and if you're
really.
blaming them for that. Oh yeah, no.
I hope they spit in your food. You're
not mine.
Shitty.
I will make sure that they know that I do not have your sentiments if you're being rude. I will stop them in the back when I go to the bathroom and be like, hey, sorry, yeah. Anyways, here's an extra $10. Don't spit in my food. Okay. Anyways.
But spit in theirs.
Yeah. Okay. I won't tell. All right. Disrespectful, rude to servers. Won't clean up after themselves. I don't need another child. I already have my daughter and my brother.
I'm a neat freak.
And now my niece is always at my house too.
I am very clean. Child.
Oh, she is such a neat freak. I'm not a neat freak, but don't need more kids. Let's see. Also, mouth breathers, right? also Chicago fans in general, meaning Sox and Cubs fans. This is a Yankees fan saying this. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Oh man, smoking. Yeah, smoking is terrible. Somebody else agreeing with that.
Yeah.
That one, it's one of those things.
Some people have family members that died of emphysema, and we're not okay with being around people that are smokers.
Yeah.
I know Jinx and I are kind of like that.
Yeah, I'm not.
We're good over here.
My ex, the most recent one, he smoked, but he would always smoke outside. He tried doing the vape thing. He had one that was like fruit punch, and I was just like, that was the fruity smelling ones are almost worse than smoking. I'm like, you smell like Kool-Aid. It's my house
the
smells
Kool-Aid
like
man.
Kool-Aid.
I'm just picturing the Kool-Aid man going through the walls. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be smelling it, like feeling like Kool-Aid packets are popping open every time you walk in the room, guys. No. So It's not cool.
No, it's not.
And like one thing I like with smokers, if they kiss you right after they've been smoking a cigarette, and it's like licking.
It's like an ashtray.
And I had somebody ask me this on one of the groups, like somebody posted about like I went on this awesome date with this guy, and and this sounded like the most phenomenal date. I'm not sure if this person's listening or not, but she went on the most phenomenal sounding date, only to it turns out he's a smoker. So she's like now, and this was their second date. She didn't realize it on the first date. So now she's like, what do I do? This great date. But he's a smoker. So do you keep giving the guy a chance, or what? I think it depends in that situation. One, is it worth it to you? Like with any deal breaker, if you really like somebody, then you got to question, is it something you can get over or like work on? And that's a tricky one, because you're always going to have with the clothes smelling like it, the health issues later, and as well as, like them having to duck out all the time to go smoke a cigarette instead of spending time with you or whatever, watching a movie. You have to pause it because they need to go take a smoke outside. So it just interrupts a lot. So are you willing to deal with that? Are they willing to try to cut back or stop smoking? Like those are different things that I guess are individual to each person. As to what they're willing to do.
I'm going to throw this out there too. My grandmother, for several years, she was trying to, she was nagging my grandpa to stop smoking. And when she found out he had emphysema, she saw him take his last breath. And that was really, really sad for her. And it's just like, it's not worth it, And I don't know, if you can find a way to quit, it's the way to go, guys. Because most of us, we don't like it, No. We don't like to be around it. We don't like to be in the car with the smoke. And it's like a hot box.
Getting older too, dating somebody that's a smoker, it's like that's a shorter life expectancy too.
And you want to grow old with that person, right?
It's like you don't want to be dealing with the hospital bills after they're gone.
That's true.
I mean, chances are we're all going to end up with cancer at some point.
Don't say that.
I used to sell insurance for Aflac. I know the numbers and the statistics. It's not good, guys.
Geez.
It's like 1 in every 2 men and 1 in every 3 women. Yeah.
Oh, that's really sad.
That are going to get cancer of some sort. So,
that's really sad.
I was just ending the show on a happy note.
I know, please. Can we?
So we also have somebody chiming in with bad kids or deal breaker. Right? Their kids are horrible. Too political, overly sexual. And there's the ever famous liars. Overly sexual. I guess that's another thing. It depends. Like that's each person. Like, so if that's not you, if you're like one of my other exes, then that might be an issue, right? If you're
I'm sorry, Jinx, because I know which one you're talking about, and I have to take a moment and just laugh at you.
That's what friends are for.
Oh my God.
I'm glad I can make people happy and laugh. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Let's see.
My hair's crazy today.
Let's see.
Okay, here we go.
Clothes thing is the worst, Janie's saying. Yeah, with the clothes smelling like smoke.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah. Let's see. And you'll never get the smell out, right? And that's why you can't. I've been driving my brother's car, and oops, David, I'm so sorry. I hope no one from the family is listening right now. But I was driving his car, and he keeps trying to quit smoking. Back and forth. Good. Well, now he's quit for sure after his surgery. He can't smoke right now. So he's using this as, again, another time to quit. But his car, it smells
so
like
bad.
Yeah, because that's where he always smokes, because trying to hide it so no one.
And that's harder for people too. That's like tempting for them, because a lot of people smoke in the car. It's like their therapy,
and that leads to the bad dental hygiene, guys. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Full circle.
It does.
We're back to Brittany's first original one, and I still haven't remembered what my other deal breaker was.
Well,
you don't write these things down.
I mean, that's why I did. You don't want to look like you've been brushing with butter. You know what I mean? I always say that. My ex-boyfriend always used to give me shit. I know, I'll bring him up, but
And this is why our episode is explicit. Thank you, Britt.
It's okay. I'd be like, I'm gonna go and brush my one tooth. He's like, oh, your favorite tooth? And I'm like, yep. Because
oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Let's see.
We have so funny.
Randy chiming in. How well do relationships work when you have different interests and other hobbies or TV shows? it's like borderline deal breaker. Yeah, that's a good point, right? If you're, like if you guys are into way different styles of movies, way different hobbies, it's, because you want to be with somebody that you can find shared interests and stuff. And I think that it comes down to the sports thing too, right? You want to be able to go do stuff and like, I like going to White Sox games occasionally. I won't set foot in Wrigley. I wouldn't even go there to see Tom Petty or Green Day, and I love both of them. And now I can't see Tom Petty anymore. But anyways.
She's going to come to a game with me, though. It's going to be crosstown. I'll make her go to Wrigley.
I've gone to crosstown games at Comiskey or the Cell, or I'm not calling it by the new name. I refuse to.
She'll like lose a bet, and I'll have to take her with me.
I don't lose anything. I don't make bets. I'm not going to win.
I just won't tell you.
But TV shows.
Savage.
All right, I got a surprise for you, Jinx.
Yeah, right.
Oh no! After last night's show, this is gonna be what's gonna happen to me. Somebody's gonna try to surprise me with a date and give me clues, and the next thing I know, I'm gonna end up at Wrigley, and I'm gonna have to kill somebody. But anyways, no,
I can't wait. I can't wait to take her. It's gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna happen.
You're still gonna watch the Cubs or the Sox, excuse me. It's still gonna be like Sox and Cubs. It's crosstown.
Anyways, all right, getting to the other thing, like TV shows, right? So sitting and watching TV shows, it's hard to watch TV shows. My ex-husband loved Babylon 5. I can't stand that show. I'm sorry. I tried. I got into watching X-Files with him. I could deal with that one. Doctor Who. I'm a huge Doctor Who fan now, thanks to him watching it all the time. And I finally started sitting down watching it. I love Doctor Who.
Me too.
I'm a nerd. And I even started watching Voyager for Star Trek, right? That's the only one I like out of the Star Trek guys. But yeah, I mean, it's making that effort. And he, in turn, watched Gilmore Girls with me, and he absolutely loved that show. Actually, all of my exes love Gilmore Girls, but how could you not? I am Lorelai Gilmore. Like, if you watch this show, let's be honest.
I want to see that because I like the show Friends. Is it similar? Or is it completely different?
Completely different.
Well, I've never watched. I don't know.
Yeah,
what it's like.
Gilmore Girls. It's like watching me as a mom with a teenager.
Okay.
Like imagine Veronica a few years from now, but like less Veronica.
But less Veronica.
Well, she's very stubborn and opinionated, and Rory's a little bit not so much. But they're still my mom and daughter that are like best friends. And Lorelai talks a lot like me with all the jokes and the quick witty, comebacks and stuff.
Oh, that's cute.
And drinks a lot of coffee. Okay.
That sounds like my person.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you'll love her. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, let's see. We have RJ's saying Tom Petty and Green Day. I think we have.
Are you looking at the comments? We have 71 comments,
Thank you guys. Yeah.
Wow.
Deal breakers are
that is amazing.
Okay. A big one for Russell. I won't date someone that sleeps with me on the first date. All right. I'm glad you brought this one up, and we are well over an hour, but I don't care right now, guys. I don't care. I'm going to dig into this one. I'm sorry, but if you are putting the pressure on because you want to have sex on that first date, you cannot judge somebody for having sex with you on the first date because you wanted it just as bad and you are just as guilty. Now, if she's the one that's coming on to you and trying to get you to cave in, that's a different story. Then you have the right to say no. And then you have the right to put on the brakes and not go through with it. And then it's on you. But if you're sitting there trying to tempt and push that person into having sex with you, and they think that you guys have a connection and all this stuff, and then you're really using it as a test and a trap to show that or to prove that they're not good enough for you. Wow. That's on you. That I'm sorry. I do not agree with that one at all.
I don't agree
with it. That's a setup.
Either.
That's starting out with games. That's starting a relationship out.
I'm sorry. That's really the problem with most dating nowadays is guys are trying to test women. They're trying to test them. Yeah. And that's the issue that we have. This is another huge reason why we decided to start this channel was so that we can all help each other and discuss it
at relationships and dating and stuff. Talk about what we're doing wrong, and figure out what works, what doesn't work.
Knowledge is power, people. Yep. Like it's good to talk with a bunch of girls to see their insight and to actually listen to them and
Yeah.
Be better.
And and if I find out somebody's playing games, because that was another issue with my ex, was the playing games. If I find out someone's playing games and testing me like that it was a deal breaker right there. I'm like,
I'm sorry.
No, it's like, if you want to be with me, be with me. Don't sit there and test me to make sure that I'm good enough for you. Because if you have to test me to find out if I'm good enough for you, you're not good enough for me.
That's the whole ghosting thing that we talked about yesterday for a bonus episode, which you guys should totally check out if you haven't already, about how some guys pull away. They'll date a woman. Yeah. They'll date a woman for a little bit, and then they'll just pull away and to test them to see how they're going to react and if they're going to respond in a certain way.
Overreact or to get them to come to heel or whatever it is. And girls do that too, but that's games.
Yes, that's all games. Women do it too.
Messing with people's minds in their heads and not being 100% honest. Just be yourselves and be sincere in your actions. And if you're wanting to hook up with someone, then they're thinking that you're really into them and they would choose to hook up with you. That's because they think that there's a mutual connection there. Using that to judge someone as a way to say, nope, sorry, they were willing to sleep with me on the first night, so therefore you were willing to sleep with them too.
Yeah, there you go. It takes two to tango. Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Okay. Using that, if you're pursuing it to happen and pushing for it to happen, that's on you for doing that. If you want somebody that doesn't hook up on the first date, then don't make it seem like that's what you want. Okay. Real talk here, guys.
Yeah. Sorry. We're keeping it straight. No chaser.
Yep. Let's see. I would know better than to take Jinx to Wrigley. I value my life. Yes. See, there you go, RJ. Randy, I'd be watching Harry Potter and she's watching something totally different in a different room. See, that's one of the things that was an issue with me and my ex-husband. Like I said, I tried to watch a bunch of stuff and he did watch Gilmore Girls, but for the most part, half the time he was in his office watching something or, in the other room while I was watching something completely different in the living room. We could have been watching TV together or doing stuff together, but for whatever reason, he chose to be in there and, doing something else. There were times we would watch stuff together, but that's how distance starts. It's that whole thing with doing things separate, even when you're in the same house. You do need space, but there's a thing is too much space, right? You need space in relationships, but you still need to have connections and doing stuff together and not let that get too far. Especially if it's someone like me, where quality time and physical touch are we're talking about the 5 languages of love, those are big for me. And if you're not doing those things for me, then I'm losing all connection with you, and it's going to go south really quick. Because words don't work. You're not going to be able to talk your way back in.
My problem is with me, though, I'm different because I've been hurt so much that it's really hard for me to cuddle somebody right away.
You want to have that comfort level.
And eventually it'll take me a little bit to cuddle with them. But it's worth it in the end, because when I really love somebody, I really love them with all my heart,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I will fight for them, and I have a hard time letting go. So that's my issue. But everyone's like that too in some kind of way, right?
Everybody has their unique things. We've Russell saying women test men nonstop. Not all women.
Really?
And if you feel that way, it might be the women you're dating.
Maybe the ones you're picking.
And just and maybe it's because you're testing them. Maybe you're seeing that stuff they're doing as tests when it isn't.
When you're pointing at something, there's always 3 fingers pointing right back at you.
If you're doing stuff, you're going to see it. You're going to see things in the way that you would do them, as opposed to how somebody else.
When you leave a relationship, you should always evaluate.
Game-free zone. That's right, Randy.
Who did what wrong, and also what you did wrong, so that you learn and that you're not picking the same people. And you know what? I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, and here I go. I'm actually going to therapy. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I feel like people should be honest about that. I realize I'm picking the same type of person. And I think more people should look at themselves and be like, am I picking the same type of jerk, and why is that? And start asking those questions. It's really important to do so that way you can find your soulmate faster,
Yeah.
Because we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. And some of us are a little bit more repetitive with finding the similar type of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Russell saying girls make all the decisions when it comes to sex. Again, I'm going to say.
Oh, Russell.
If you are sitting there pushing for it and Like, you want to have sex, and that girl is into you and thinks you guys are on the same page of interest in each other, and she decides to follow your lead into having sex because she thinks you guys are on the same page, and you're just as into her as she is into you, and not thinking it's a test for her purity or whatever your test is. Then of course she's gonna be like wanting to hook up with you because she likes you and she's into you.
She totally
and
likes
but
you.
but if like,
that's really sucky that you have to say that.
Yeah, I'm like, that's wrong.
Yeah,
it's
you can't judge
wrong.
that off that.
That I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. All right. Randy is saying, not sure if this topic is exclusive to boyfriend-girlfriend situations, but as deal breakers go. When is dating exclusive? Is dating around to see connections a problem? No, I think I think we should all go into at this stage in dating, in the dating world, automatically assume that you are not the only person someone is seeing until you have that discussion about being exclusive.
Talk about that
this is something that comes up so much on here.
That's okay. If you want to date somebody else, that's fine.
Until you have that conversation about wanting to be exclusive, you have no reason. Like, if somebody wants to be exclusive with you, then they need to say, hey, I really like you, and I want us to be exclusive.
If you are not locking that girl down, she's not. Yeah,
no,
she's gonna be looking somewhere else.
Yeah,
and vice versa for guys. If you're not together, he's going to be looking for other girls too.
Yep. And
there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it, because that's the whole point of dating. Like I said, yesterday's episode,
about the party,
and I think Saturday, it's the dating world. It's like a party. You're all going to a party to say you're interacting with different people to see who you connect with, and who you want to see after that party, who you want to keep seeing, who you want to connect with, who you want to go home with. And that's not always going to be the first person you talk to. You're going to talk to several people at that party, and interact with them different. And some people you're going to be like, not going near that one again. No, and then that one smells. That
one sucks. It's suck and blow. Do you guys remember Clueless? I always think of, like, when she talks about this party scene, I always think of Clueless with the suck and blow game. When everyone's just kind of mingling at the party. Yeah, it's what it is. It's just kind of figuring out who, you want to be with.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
nothing wrong with it. No shame in the game.
Nothing wrong with it. Yeah, but it's like when you really like somebody and you're really interested in them, and you know that, all right, this is the person I want to date and I'm really into. Then you have that conversation with them and say, hey, I really like you. What do you think about being exclusive? Is that something you're up for? And have that conversation. And if they're really into you, then hey. If they're not, that's something you want to know before you start getting too many feelings and get crushed because they are seeing other people.
If you have a hard time seeing him or her with another person and knowing that they are dating other people, I think that's when that you just don't want to be with anybody else but them. So,
we have Russell chiming in back on the sex thing.
Oh, geez,
guys shouldn't be pushing for sex. Yeah, if you don't want somebody that will have sex with you on the first date, then don't push for sex on the first date.
Right.
Plain and simple. If you want a girl you can respect because she doesn't have sex with you on the first date, don't test her to see if she'll have sex with you on the first date.
No games. Zero games.
No games. Just
zero games.
Don't put that on the table to be something as it's the marshmallow test. Here, you want one marshmallow an hour, or do you want 2 marshmallows later? No, this is not a game. Okay, we're not a scientific experiment. For you guys,
I think guys like the chase. They want some sort of game. They want to have fun with it. They like the cat and mouse sort of thing. But it's just like, women, we're sort of over the games. We've kind of did that for a while, and that's what's making the dating scene, I think, a little bit more trickier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's because people are being called out on their games, and it's becoming more because of social media and stuff. It like this stuff is becoming more. It's like, oh, it happened to you too.
Women are doing things dirty to men, and now men are doing dirty things to women, playing all these games. Yeah. What if for a moment we put the games aside and we just got what we wanted? And we just kind of, what I mean?
Are honest with each other.
Are honest and just built a friendship. It takes a long time to just, like I said, build an empire. Once again, like it's hard enough. Mm-hmm. It's hard enough in this world.
Yeah. All right. So
we don't need that shit.
Yeah. Randy's commenting, then why do people get shamed for going out on dates and then they get typed as whores or players? Yeah, I think that's something that like needs to stop. I mean, everybody's trying to find somebody to connect with and are happy with, and you shouldn't get shamed for doing that, for going out on dates, because you can't you go on one date with one person and know for sure on that first date if that's somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with, or even the next 6 months with, right? You got to get to know them, and you're only going to find that through dating. But you don't know if that, if you put too much focus on one person too, I think that tends to cause you to almost try to connect too much too soon. Without getting to know them, because it's like that's the only person you're into. And I think that's where a lot of those space issues come, where you start messaging the person too much, or you're like all into their business because you have nothing else to focus on, and like that's your, you want to make it work so bad. And so you're just messaging or calling hopefully. But I think that's when it gets excessive, and then you start worrying about what the other person's doing, who are they going out with, and what are, just until you guys have that conversation, and if you're at that point where you feel like you think you want to only date that person, then you need to have that talk with that person and have that conversation and figure out if you guys are on the same page or not. And if you're not, then fine, move on, and it just see if that's something you're willing to deal with, like waiting for them to get on the same page as you. And if you're not willing to wait, then it's time to go and keep.
Men and women we're just so different, but it's really sad that we have to seek counseling and pay somebody when we could just simply talk.
Yeah, and
that's really sad.
Just because
and it doesn't that make
dating
you sad?
Around and stuff does not make them a whore or a player.
No,
It just makes
talk about it. They're honest,
being selective, and trying to find out who they click with. Randy says, so should you tell people up front you're dating around or what? Because if it's not their business, because it's not their business till it is. I find when you're honest on this topic, people get turned away fast.
Well, I don't feel like if they bring it up,
I haven't had any issues. Like if
they bring it up,
people don't bring it up. But if somebody asks,
they don't.
I'll be, I'm honest. Even in my profile, I'm like, we'll get into dating profiles and what you should put in there and what you shouldn't, what's saying too much and not enough. But in mine, it says, I'm just looking to date and have fun and, eventually hope to find somebody I connect with. But,
sometimes that
I can settle down with, but I'm not in a rush to get there. I'm like, I'm wanting to take I'm not saying I'm dating her and I'm going to be dating 5 other guys, over the next 2 weeks or whatever. But no, I think it's being open enough. Mm-hmm. And if somebody has questions, I'll answer. I'll be honest. And if you're not, if you're wanting to be too exclusive right away, then unless you've made a big impression on me.
I think women get a bad rep too if we're dating around versus a guy.
Yeah,
because you come off as like a whore or something like that, and that's just so bad.
And
guys.
Because you're dating, just because you're having sex with every guy you go on a date with. Yeah, it's like it's coffee, guys. Come on,
it's coffee
or whatever. It's not. Get you dinner and a guy trying to get you up to the hotel room.
Right.
Stop doing it. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyways, why do I get these? But anyways, devil's advocate, you said sex on the first date is okay, but what about if you're dating to see connections, but then sex happens? Does that make things change? Let's see. All right. So here's what I was saying. If you're really, and like I have never once, like somebody that I met on a dating app, that's not going to happen. I can tell you that right now. But if you're on a date with somebody and you guys are feeling a connection and you're really into each other and stuff, and it leads to sex for you, I'm saying in that instance, the guy shouldn't judge you if he's into it and that's what he's wanting too. It shouldn't be something to judge somebody over as to whether or not you want to continue having a relationship with them past being, sex buddies or whatever, but a real relationship. So don't judge somebody based on something you wanted to do as well, that you pushed for. That's what I'm saying there. I'm not saying that I have, that I'll have sex on the first date with somebody that I just met online or whatever. But I'm saying that if you guys are feeling each other in connection and that happens,
then it happens.
It happens. Don't judge the person for
right.
it. I'm not saying either that you should be having sex with every single person you go on a date with. By no means.
You don't want herpetogonosyphilis.
No. Okay.
There's a lot of people, like I think 1 out of 4
like,
women have like an
if you're
STD
assuming
or something
that,
like that.
everybody you're dating
bad.
is having sex with everybody they go on dates with on the first date, that's
the problem is there's too many people sleeping around.
Yeah.
Like that's bad.
Yeah. Let's see. Guys cannot be civil anymore, and it ruins it for the rest of us that try to be. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that happens. You know, there's the guys out there that, want to talk up their game. We have so many. We're going to have to cut this somewhere, guys. All right.
I know.
Russell, always trying to get his word in. I think you should date one person at a time if you have a great first date and want a second. So that's the other thing, too. Okay. I think I mentioned this on Saturday's episode. If I'm really interested in somebody after the first date,
Mm-hmm.
if I have another date scheduled already, I'll still keep that date, but I'm not going to make any new dates with anybody until I figure out what's going on with this first person, because I'm going to kind of focus on them and see what happens on the next date and stuff. And it's like if somebody else interesting comes along, I might still go on a coffee date, but or whatever to meet them just in case it doesn't work out with this person. But if there's someone I'm really interested in, I will stop dating and focus on that one person. I'm like, I go on this like weird thing where I'll go like 3 weeks without going on a date at all. And then all of a sudden I'll go hit the dating apps, and next thing I know, I've got 4 coffee dates lined up, and
Get a girl, get a girl.
Getting my coffee fix, right? But that's
Caffeinated.
So yeah, but it's not, and then it's like, and usually maybe 1 out of those 4 will turn into a second date, maybe, if that even. There's only been like one person like where after the first or second date I was like, okay, this person I know I want to keep seeing for a while. But most of them, like I mentioned before, it's rare that they make it to a second date, much less a third date.
Wow.
She's
picky.
I am.
I'm picky too.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Okay. Deal breakers you don't know until you go on date. Oh, that's my other deal breaker. If they don't know
God, we've been on here for an
who
hour.
Doctor Who is. I finally remembered. It took me an hour and a half. But if they don't know who Doctor Who is, you don't have to be a fan of Doctor Who. But if you've never heard of Doctor Who and you ask me and you say, oh, that what's with the blue police box dress you're wearing in that picture? And then you say, and I say Doctor Who, and you're like, what's that? Is that like Dr. Evil?
What?
I'm done. That's
yeah, I know.
We cannot date.
We can't.
Yeah. So anyways,
Doctor Who.
Yeah. Good guys finish last. So going back to the good guys thing. All right. But anyways, we're gonna wrap this up, guys, and feel free to leave us comments, send us messages.
Definitely.
I cannot wait to see our inbox after this one.
Oh man, we have 88 comments right now.
Thank you guys.
You guys are awesome.
We
Thank
love
you
you.
so
We love
much.
our listeners.
Seriously,
thanks for
wow.
participating in the conversation.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna have to have some people
I
on
don't
the
know how
show
many people
too.
are going to go back and watch this all the way through.
Yeah,
I've got a couple people that have been talking to me about being on the show coming up. So we're going to work out some more episodes with them and conversations. We're going to talk about coming up. On Saturday, we're going to talk ghosting, breadcrumbing, all those different crappy dating things that people do. We are going to talk about dating profiles, and also, are you making yourself come off as desperate without even knowing it? Don't be thirsty, folks. We're going to go and talk about how you can improve your posts and your profiles and stuff like that, so that that you're not turning people away before they even get to know you. That's coming up, and I'm trying to think, we've got so many different topics people have been suggesting, but that's all for next time. If you guys have some great topics, don't be afraid to message us. We want to hear from you.
Yes.
chickchatchicago@gmail.com.
Yes.
And we'll see you Saturday.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Have a great day. Bye.